Stories are rites of passage. My name is Osadumebi, and every week I will tell you a short story written by a Nigerian writer or author. That's the long and short of it. So without much ado, this week's story is by Eniola Shitta, and it's titled My First Bra. It was time. My mother had finally taken pity on my jiggling up and down and pestering her to grant me my heart's desire. I, Catwalk, was going to be the proud owner of a very empowering contraption. The bra. I was now on the path towards my sexiness. Yes, so I was short, round, and had no hair, but my bra would change all of that. My mother would start respecting me, and very soon, all the men would be at my beck and call. The reason they were not after me now was because I had no uplifts to my weapons of mass seduction. In 24 hours, I would cease to be Catwalk and I would become Miss Catwalk, potential owner of double D's, or so I prayed. After conveying our mission to my father and brother in the most important of tones, like they cared, my mother and I set off for the one place in the world where you can find the most sexy of undergarments, Teju Osho Market. I was nearly beside myself with excitement. I could not wait to return after midterm with my new bras. Almost everyone in my class had them in every shape and form. Even those whose aspiring protrusions were competing to attain granite shapes and sizes. I had been enviously eyeing all those girls in dorm as they dressed and unleashed on my non-bra wearing person their imported varieties in color and fabric. I was determined that I too would give them a run for their money. They were to wait and see. The new and improved Catwalk was about to be unleashed. After we got to the market, we first stopped at every customer my mother had, and she informed them in loud whispers what we were there to do. Laughter, cackles, winks, and immediate perusal of my chest followed. I endured it all because at the end of the long stretch of market corridor, right under the staircase leading upstairs to the clothing and apparel section, where all the male salespeople liked to grab at female customers, sat the mecca of brand new female underwear. They could laugh all they wanted. When I passed back in an hour's time, they would see just how little of a girl I was. We finally got to the brand new female underwear heaven, and the women called out my mother and I. If not for the instructions I had been given before getting out of the car, I would have jumped forward and started rolling around. My mother finally settled on one woman with a nose ring. Seeing my eager face, the woman pulled out a bag containing some of the most colorful bras and matching panties I had ever seen. The models on the packaging were white women who had ironing boards for stomachs. The patterns were checkered, floral, Mickey Mouse, smiley faces, name it. Yes, this was it. Oh my God, this was it. Let's start with a 32C, my mother informed the woman. The woman expertly unwrapped the bras and spilled its contents out. She selected one. I will never forget it as long as I live. It was bright yellow, with little red flowers running across the front. The top of it was scalloped in the lace pattern of the petals. The straps were tiny and they had a little bow on the shoulder. The unpadded cups settled tightly into metal lifts to rest under my bra virgin breasts and lift them to glory. And in a few minutes, the most beautiful, empowering contraption I had ever seen was going to be mine. I put my hand forward to touch it. Smack! Catwalk's hand came out of nowhere and stung my skin. I retracted my smarting hand to safety. What is going on? Even the seller was startled. You are not going to wear such things. Do you want to catch breast cancer? Say what? My mind screamed as Yakatwa continued. Don't you know that the metal in the cups can rust against your skin? Well, you will not put me in trouble, madam, I beg, don't you have more suitable ones without metal? My mother asked. I get the one where you get plastic, the woman answered. No. One without anything at all. You just bring me the plain brass, Oton. I watched in slow motion as the object of my sexual liberation, dangling beneath my nose like a punishing temptation, were slowly retracted and folded away, and a bag containing another brand of womanhood emerged. I nearly burst into tears when my mother reached for the bra of her choice. The straps were so big, I could have checked towel off my back to school list. It was plain cotton. Plain, boring, and uninspiring cotton. Visions of dressing in the dark to avoid being seen with such catastrophic excuse for underwear assaulted my mind, and my throat began to clog up with tears. Mommy. What? That what was the kind of what that preceded a slap. And unlike Adure's mother, who waited to get home before any beatings, my mother had no qualms rearranging my facial features right there in the middle of Tedro Show Market. And no one would intervene, because her entire demeanor would promise the same fate to anybody who dared. That was how I walked home, the proud owner of 4 plain cotton bras with their matching pants. We took the same route we had come into the market through, and I had to show off my purchases to the same women as before. God, I wanted to be buried deep beneath the market floor. When I got back to school, I made sure I took my shower at 3 in the morning every day, and I always got dressed behind the door of my locker. There was no walking around the dorm with my skirt pulled up across my bosom as the others would do after class. No, thank you. No sitting to read in just your cute bra and biker shorts. Hell no. I was condemned to the purgatory of bras, with cups so pointy and straps so wide they could have been part of a pinafore. It took me 2 years to get over the experience. Eniola Shitta is a writer and executive producer who resides in Abuja. She is a multi-creative entrepreneur, creating content, design, and events. She is also a strong stakeholder and advocate for Nigerian creative industries. You can connect with her using her personal social media handles at Eniola Shitta on Instagram, X, formerly called Twitter, and LinkedIn, and at Bani Productions for content, at Asabi Home Living for design, and at EVB Protocol for events. Details and links will be in the episode description. If you've got a story you would like to be featured on this podcast, or a published book you want to make into an audiobook, send an email to info@osadmebi.com or send me a message at osadmebi on either Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or X, formerly Twitter. I look forward to collaborating with you. And if you've enjoyed this week's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and tell someone, everyone, that stories are a good escape for a few minutes each week.